Welcome back to No Nonsense. With me, as always, Will Byrne. How are you, Will?
Oh, good. It always throws me off when you throw it to me so quick. I'm never ready.
Yeah, I'm easing in. I don't want to get straight into it because we all know the results, and I think a lot of the talk is like, is anyone even surprised anymore? That's what I keep hearing. People are really just throwing their hands up in the air dramatically. Just forget it. Does anybody even care anymore? They're not even surprised by these results. So, I didn't want to just jump in down your throat and be like, hey, what do you think about the game? 3-1, embarrassing, shocking.
We've entered new territory, I think, where even the Man United haters are like, this lad's definitely not good enough.
Yeah. That was like I said, that was the game I watched on. That was the first game of the weekend, the 12:30 kickoff. What a way to start the weekend!
Straight away, you know what's happening in that game. Man United against Brentford, 12:30 on a Saturday. That's a loss.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been hearing is like people were talking about the game, like, you know what? I tuned in, I saw the score 1-0. I wasn't even surprised. I wasn't even shocked, and I was still a bit shocked, to be honest. I think. Not to put myself above people, Will. I don't do that lightly. But I think for the casual, I think, yeah, Brentford are good. Thomas Frank's a good manager. I was like, this is a Brentford who've been kind of like up and down. Like they lost to West Ham, but then they beat Fulham, I think it was. Like they haven't been pulling up trees either. I was kind of thinking, this is a game now that United could win. And what was at stake was the two back-to-back wins, which they haven't done yet under Amorim, apparently.
Or I don't think they've done it since January, maybe, or something like that. But
sorry, yeah.
But never good when, again, you're playing a team they've lost their manager, they've lost their best player to you.
Yes.
And it, doesn't have a sniff in the game. And all their new guys who've never heard of are just tearing you apart.
Yeah, that's the Embrainer one. I think the casualist fan might know where he came from exactly. Yeah, Brentford are good. They've got fucking Ivan Toney. I mean, it's like, no, that's not the team. It's Keith Andrews who's like, under scrutiny. I mean, after this game now, it's funny because it's like what we were saying about the Verts thing last week, where people are saying, well, that wasn't a real game, and that is so therefore that assist doesn't count, but it does count as a game because it is a game. It's like, oh, my night or a joke. It's not even surprising anymore. And it's like, maybe Keith Andrews could be the best the best young manager in the world right now. Is that like, yeah, that's what I hear because he beat Man United. It's like, but it's not Man United. It's whatever this version is, but not to try and take praise. I don't want to be some negative straight away. I don't know. I'm trying to take praise away from Keith Andrews, but I've just seen a lot of different narratives spinning,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this isn't the old Man United. I wasn't shocked at all at the result. Haven't been shocked in a long time. This Man United team...
You weren't shocked?
No. We have entered sacking time where the result, nothing matters anymore. The results are going to be bad until it's over. This has happened like 5 times in a row now. Where it's like, yeah, we could lose 4-1 to Watford under Ollie. We could lose 6-0 to Liverpool. We could lose 3-1 to Brentford. Like, yeah, this time happens. This Man United team under Amorim is proper relegation fodder, I think.
So you think that the players have now given up? Because that's kind of what that means.
I think it's an interesting one because it's all new players. So I don't know. I think this is a weird one where it's just like the system talk obviously is so annoying, but it's just a thing where it's like, yeah, but you can't keep playing Bruno there. He's bad at it. Like, he does it every week. It's never going to work, and you can't like bringing on Mason Mount at left wing back to win the game again. It didn't work against Grimsby. Why would it work now? Like, it's a new one where it doesn't feel like the players have down tools. It feels like they're confused at how to use their tools.
It is like a team that's like racked with injuries, and then you have players playing out of positions. Like, look, we have to just get through this period. But everyone's fit, more or less.
Everyone's there, yeah.
I mean, they don't have Martinez at the back, but everyone else is pretty much, like, say, new signings. Like Luke Shaw is flying it. They're not playing well, but he's fit as a fiddle. So it does seem very strange, but I still thought, like, okay, it's Brentford's still trying to find their feet. Jury's out on some of them, on some of the players. I mean, who's your man? Thiago, that first goal. I honestly think he was a bit lucky with that.
Yeah, I think so.
He kind of swung a leg at that. It went outside the boot. He didn't mean to hit right there, But that's all I needed. All I needed was the confidence then to go, oh, these guys are going to give me the length of the pitch to run with Harry Maguire playing a high line for some reason. This is going to be easy. So,
like, it wasn't the same finish, but Haaland scored that exact same goal a few weeks ago against Man United, where he is through on goal in his own half nearly because of the way they're set up. So it's just insane.
yes, that's what I mean. I guess I wasn't like, oh, this Brentford team is going to tear anybody apart, but I did think the way they set up was like definitely beneficial for them. So, yeah, I was. If you said that they would lose, I would be like, no way, no chance. But just the fact it was 3-1, and I was watching the game, like Fletch, who I don't know if he's a Man United fan or is he just playing to the audience of Man United fans, but a couple of times when the ball went in and they cleared it, he's like, that's better. I was like, this is crazy. But at the end of the game, they were like, it was 2-1. It was like, I can't see where my night goal is going to come from here. They don't even have it. Don't have the ball. And then I actually turned it off because I had to leave. And then I saw it was 3-1. So, they must have scored in the 96th minute of extra time. Like, it was like well into extra time. That's when United should have been pushing for a goal. And then, Brentford get a third. And it was like a goalkeeping error, which is like now back down to, okay, that's the least of the problems again. It's structural.
But even like the goalkeeping error again, like they got rid of the goalie and they had the other bad goalie. But they did sign another goalie, so they're like, right, at least that's fixed. But it's like when they got Sesko in, and he's just like, yeah, well, we're not playing him. It's like, why? What was the point then?
Yeah. I guess he wanted Gyökeres and he got Sesko, so he's just kind of, well, he's not really the player I wanted. I don't know.
It's very strange.
But he did score. A poacher's finish.
3 of them.
Well, he got their threes company. I don't know. Third time a charm.
I saw one of those Twitter stat pages was like 6 shots on target for Sesko in the first half. Not dangerous. I was like, 3 of those were his goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Lies and statistics. Yeah. If you watch the game, you know where half those shots came from. This kind of sound like, well, 6 shots over the course of 90 minutes, like 3 shots over the course of 10 seconds.
Yeah. 2 of them straight at the keeper.
Peppering Keller with shots to disable him and then kicking the goal.
It was amazing because he did something I've never seen. He got a perfect hat trick in one goal. He did left foot, right foot, head. Yeah.
Well, you have to score the goals for it to be a perfect hat trick. I know what you mean. Well, I like this. See, this is the more positivity we need in this podcast. The silver linings of this thing. And speaking of which, Caoimhin Kelleher, was there ever more a definite penalty save happening before it happened?
We talked about this a few weeks ago. Bruno Fernandes, when he has his routine step by step and he can do it all, best penalty taker in the world. When something goes wrong, he loses the head and he can't get it back. And it happened again. This time was an interesting one with the 6-minute delay to check for a red card. Didn't give it because they said Mbeumo wasn't in control of the ball, but they also gave the foul because he's being pulled back. I was like, well, that's why he's not in control of the ball. He's being held back from it. Yeah.
That took a few minutes, but then our man Keith Andrews, diabolical substitutions.
Genius. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No, because it can't be allowed. There's no way. There's no way you can do that. Otherwise, that'd be happening all the time. The second someone steps up for a penalty.
He may have opened Pandora's box for this,
Yeah, that's a new rule for sure.
You thought the long throw-ins were bad. Watch this. This is going to be the next few games. End of the penalty. Like, all right, get the lads on. Get them all on. Get them on as slow as possible.
One at a time. 2 separate substitutions, please.
Yeah. I don't know why the ref allowed that. Maybe he thought... I don't know what he thought. I've never seen that before. And it all delayed it a bit more. And he missed the penalty. But Caoimhin Kelleher is a good penalty saver. We've seen that in the various penalty shots. So straight away, I was like, oh, Keller's a good goal. And then all the delays and the VAR's like, well, he's definitely going to save this. And then I've never seen where you're just more sure. Sometimes you see a penalty shootout and you see their face and you go, he's nervous, and then the
cameras pan to him too early. Yeah, I know what happens now.
Some of you just project these things onto them, whatever. But this was the first time in game I was like, he's definitely going to save this. There's no chance he's going to put this top corner. And yeah, that's probably as close as I got after that, really. Yeah,
that was it. That was pretty much the game. Like I said, the third goal literally was straight at the keeper and it went in, essentially. And yeah, I don't know if you saw Kelleher and Collins after the game. lapping it up. They're asked about, the substitutions. They're like, yep, tactical move.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to be proud of these things because they, as I was saying, they were struggling. It's not like they've been cruising, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe Europa League, Champions League, maybe. I think their goal this year is going to be stay in the league. So any win at all, especially ones that you feel like you've kind of manufactured out of nothing, like because if they score that penalty, the mood does change, especially with the previous results they've had. Maybe the crowd gets a bit quiet. So yeah, it's huge 6 points or huge 3 points for Brentford and Keith Andrews. And yeah, now Andrew's stock has never been higher, especially when he started off and I was like, this guy, he's a set piece coach. What's he know about football?
We fell for it as well. Like, Brentford are weird that they're just throwing out all their great genius ideas and moves. And then, like, obviously this one is looking good. It's like, oh, they're smart. I forgot.
Yeah, well, I guess selling their players as well, and the whole the Wizard thing is like, no, he's staying and then he goes. It's like that's not what they were planning for. It so upsets the whole thing. So yeah, look, from our point of view, we'd love to see more Irish managers and Irish players still in the Premier League next year. So yeah, great for them. But long season ahead. Still, it's only 7 games in, which does wrap up a lot of the 007 chats. But that's not the be all end all. You'd be surprised to hear that there's actually more football than the 007 talk.
There is more 007s than ever, though.
There is. And I think that's mainly coming from United fans. They're just trying to find something. Because I saw somebody who said, oh, I rarely talked about 007, and it was about Cunha. And I was like, this is really devolving. Who cares? Who cares about any of this stuff? You know what I mean? But yeah, that was the game. I saw that on the Saturday morning, Will. A little bit hungover, to be honest. I kind of didn't have the best weekend organizationally for watching the games. Because Friday night, free house. Yeah, cats away. So, that means
I'm going to get drunk.
3 craft beers and 1997's Face Off. I'd never actually
hell yeah, dude. Face Off is great.
I'd never actually seen Face Off. It's just one of those movies that's like so in the popular culture is kind of, yeah, I get it. I've seen all the references. I get what all the things are, Face Off and all that, I was like, I've never actually watched it start to finish. Mental movie, to be honest.
Mental. Having 2 actors play each other is very funny.
Even when you set aside, like, okay, just assume that they can change people's faces. If you just like suspend disbelief, like, okay, they can do that and enjoy the movie. It's still like every other movie trope that don't believe, all like the shooting and all that no one dies in. Well, none of the main characters die in. The bomb, the terrorism, the magnetic prison. I'm sorry for all the spoilers here, but I mean, a thoroughly insane movie. I don't know if that sums up the 90s or anything like that, but I mean, I think even at the time, people were like, this is mental. This is way beyond. But yeah, so I did that Friday night. Got a little bit drunk, but not, I didn't go crazy, but definitely a bit hungover. Slept in a bit more than I usually would, and I had planned to come back to Carlo early. It's like 12 o'clock. Oh, the game is starting. Better watch that for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
So then when the by the time I got down to Carlo, I actually missed the Liverpool game. Just because, I got up literally first thing, watched the game, and then it's like, right, put a shape of myself in the apartment. That'll take hours. It's just mooched around on a Saturday for hours.
Looked at your phone in various chairs.
Oh, yeah, just lost countless minutes to reel. It's just like, no, I need to fucking get myself together and get going. Like, what, the Liverpool games are like 5:30 or something, was it?
I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was because it was on telly.
Yeah, like I missed it. Like, there's obviously the 2.5 hour drive, but like from in between, what, 2:30
There's
and
still like 4 hours.
yeah, I spent like 4 hours just like doing nothing, and I was like, shit, and I came back and the game's over. But the Ryder Cup was on, which I had to watch instead. But shout out to Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it was great.
Only time you care about it is when we win.
I've never seen so much swearing in a golf tournament in my life.
It's a disgraceful sport. Well, they could learn a thing or two from soccer, couldn't they?
It's devolved, hasn't it?
Yeah. Then of course Sunday, right? Arsenal game is on. what time's Arsenal was on like 4:30 again, like all day to think this out. I had training in the morning, so it was like 9 or 10. Yeah, I think it was 10. So I got home at like maybe 12-ish, showered, ready to go at like 1. I was like, right, I got to get back to going to watch this game. Because if I stay till 4:30 watching it at home, it's going to be all hours to get back. There's going to be no food in the house, no stitch of clothes washed. I had to get back and do the Sunday scary chores, you know. So I was like, right, 1:00, better get going. And I heard my mom in the kitchen, like pots and pans and stuff. And I was like, maybe there's.
Interesting. I could save €20 here.
Well, this thing, if I go in and say, listen, ma'am, I'm heading, don't put me in the pot. She would said, yeah, grand. But if I say nothing, she'll just add me in.
And you have to stay then.
So I just kind of sat down and was like, Aston Villa, Fulham, that could be a good game that I care absolutely nothing about. So just sat there and waited for dinner to come, and then it was like, right, 4:30. Now I have to go back, so now I'm going to miss the game, because if I stay till 7:30, it's going to be 10:00 for like. I was like, oh fuck! I just sold myself. Like, for anybody listening, that's our price, a hot meal. That's how much I'll sell my soul for. So I decided to not watch the game for a hot meal.
And it's funny as well, because I saw a record breaking weekend in the Premier League. I don't know if you knew this. And I was like watching some of the games, looking at fancy football and stuff. So you kind of see the scores coming in, but you don't really pay them too much mind. And then I saw the most goals scored in a single day in extra time in Premier League history. There was 8 goals scored in extra time on Saturday.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was a lot of extra time goals.
And there was equalizers, winners. There was lots of big goals. But I was just like, it's funny you see these things after the fact. You go, whoa, that's mad that I didn't cop that.
Yeah, well, I missed most of the excitement driving in between TVs. Going from TV to TV, I missed most of the action. But like I said, I saw the Aston Villa Fulham game, which I'm sure everyone wants to hear about. John McGinn, what about him?
Yeah, they're scoring goals.
Yeah, Arsenal, Newcastle, everyone's 2 favorite teams. Everyone supports a team, and you have a second team. It's usually either Arsenal or Newcastle. The two, everyone's favorite groups of players and managers. We all love them. I'm not sure what this is. This Arsenal team. I think at this point now, with every passing game, every passing performance or mini controversy, it's like they have to win now. If you win, it's fine, because it's like, look, that's what winners do. The whole narrative changes. Like when that last minute winner went in for Arsenal, I'm sure there was like journalists up and down the country
holding back,
like,
space.
Fuck. Gotta change that whole article now. I was about to call them, because it does. If they play this way and they're like horrible to play against, and they whinge and they moan, they punch people and they do some really awful dirty tackles,
blindside people in the head,
take out people's legs, have them stretched off. It's like, look, that's what it takes to win. Life is a knife fight. You don't like it, get stabbed. I don't know. Like, if you lose, it's like you're the worst team to watch, and you're shit, and you're bottlers, and you're not even good. So yeah, I mean, that performance was, I'd say I didn't get to see it. I got back here at like whatever after the game. And this also, as a side note, this is how much fantasy football rots your brain. I was going up in the car and I could get notifications in, and it was 1-0 down. I was like, oh, fuck's sake. And it was like 1-1. It's like, oh, fuck. None of my players scored. I had Eze and Calafiori, and like nothing fun. I was like, fuck. And then there was a second goal. Then I was like, nothing again, for fuck's sake. I was like, oh, hang on, 2-1. Yes,
a last minute, potentially league winning goal.
Yeah.
Fucks, where was Calafiori?
Eze again, useless. So I didn't get to see the game live or as it happened. So I had to go back and watch a match today. And again, this is highlights chosen by somebody else. It's not the full picture, but it did seem like Arsenal were doing not only a lot of dirty play, but a lot of moaning, a lot of whinging and moaning about being pushed.
A lot of moaning.
Is that what it was in real time? I mean, you tell me.
There was a lot of moaning. There was a lot of moaning going on. They seemed to target Big Nick for some. It was like from the start of the game, everything he did, whether it was a tackle or a shot, or it was straight to the referee, like constantly.
He's too big. That's not fair. Look at the size of that guy.
Yeah, and then like you said, it devolved into Gabriel punching Big Nick in the side of the head at one stage and getting away with it scot-free because Nick, the poor guy, he was too shocked to dive. I think if he went down at all, it's huge. We've seen bans for less.
For like the moving of a head towards another head is like 3 bans.
That's a classic. The famous Casemiro throttling, of course, which was like he didn't really throttle him; he just grabbed him. But like this was a punch in the head, and he got away with it.
The VAR thing. I don't want to talk about VAR, right? Because it's tedious. It's tedious. But what is their remit? Can they intervene in that situation?
Yeah, because it's like, well, it wasn't even a foul, so like, there's no stopping play, or I don't know what it was. Like, what's the point of it then? Surely,
it's on video. You're the video assistant referee. What
if you're up the pitch? The ball's up the pitch and play is going on, and I shoot the goalkeeper with a gun on the pitch. Not in our jurisdiction. That's nothing to do with us.
I can't touch it because ref technically didn't make a mistake because he didn't do anything. I guess if Voldemessi goes down holding his face, the ref goes over to him and goes, right, what happened there, VAR?
He's holding his head, stop the play, let's roll the tape. Yeah, which is like, what is this?
So
it's like wrestling.
Yeah, you have to kind of go down to be even looked at because he kind of pushed the face. He kind of grabbed Gabriel's shoulder like, hey man, what the hell is that? What are you doing? He kind of wagged his fingers like, hey, you can't punch me in the face, man. But he didn't go down, didn't hold his face, he didn't do any of that stuff. So the play kind of moved on. And of course, just like wrestling or a soap opera or whatever, the same player who should have been sent off gets the winner. And it's scenes on Tyneside. Huge goal. The mark of champions, winners, whatever. Especially when Liverpool dropped points themselves, which was a kind of a thing that happened last year, where Liverpool would maybe draw or look like they're going to draw. Look shaky. I don't know. Arsenal never seemed to capitalize on it. Not that Liverpool dropped much points at all, but I guess it is early days. There's still 2 more international incidents to be played.
Yeah, nice.
we're keep with that. We're stick with that, folks. We're going to run that joke into the ground. So be prepared for that. Like you say, you saw more of the game than I did, Will. Were Arsenal on top, or was it all kind of back and forth? Or was it a decent game? I guess is the.
It's a decent game in a way that the last few Newcastle Arsenal games have been where it's like, whoa, these guys are really hitting each other out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really going for it. Not that I was like free flowing attacking football around, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think Arsenal looked like fucking they were going to be winning the league this year, to be honest. But they keep getting results, you know, especially when Liverpool are dropping points. That's the second last minute winner now as well. There was the Martinelli one a few weeks ago, so. We said it before, it's like very early to be doing that, but it is different if you're doing it consistently.
Well, when you can follow up with some grinding out victories as well, that helps. I would say I felt bad for Nick Pope, to be honest, because he seemed to have a good game. He seemed to make a lot of saves, and then really fucked at the end there. Like that last kick out, they had it. It was one last ball in the box. It was over. Just get it launched and miskick this. Another chance, and. Yeah, I mean, look, it's him, it's Dean Henderson, and it's what's your man from Everton, Pickford. I mean, it's not a good bunch there. One of them will go.
But this is why Pickford usually gets it, because people aren't watching the Everton games. He's probably doing great over there, or maybe he's doing terrible, but you're not seeing him in the big moments week to week. Whereas Nick Pope, kind of, higher, they're playing the Champions League now. You're going to be watching a lot of Nick Pope. You're seeing a lot of Henderson as well. The better as they keep getting better. So Pickford needs to hope Everton stay exactly where they are at the table, and he'll be going to the World Cup. No problem.
Yeah, it's whoever makes the least mistakes of those 3 goalkeepers. But it's probably by far and away their weakest position, and it's such a World Cup position. The goalie, it's like that's who makes the televised mistakes. It's what's the Rob Green one all those years ago. Against Algeria, like it's gonna happen. It's gonna be something like that, and it's gonna be vilification.
Yeah, and I did want to bring this story up. Big Nick, our boy, he had a rough time of it. He got a goal, but he got a punch in the head. But after the game, the Bayern Munich board. Let me get Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. he was talking on some German equivalent of MNF, I'm assuming. Probably not MNF, probably SNF. I doubt they have games on Mondays.
Was it Tony Kroos's podcast?
No, it was on TV, proper TV. It was on Blickpunkt Sport. And he was asked about Wultemade and how he's getting on. He said, I'll be honest, when this story with Nick and the demand from Stuttgart came up, I, as well as the Bayern board, said, folks, we're slowly getting to a level that I simply don't find acceptable anymore, as apparently they were going to be in from. He said, we shouldn't fulfill every demand to make someone happy, especially the financiers at Stuttgart. I can only congratulate those in Stuttgart for finding, I'll use quotation marks here, an idiot who'd pay that much money. We certainly wouldn't have done that in Munich.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's maybe Bayern who are feeling a bit aggrieved that because they used to get all their own way. Like any decent player from any other German club would go to Bayern as a first choice, even if the money wasn't exactly the same. Because, like, you know, you're from Germany, you want to stay in Germany and win stuff and play Champions League. I mean, it was a good deal, but like Wirtz, for example, like that was one that's got Bayern written all over it. You know, Frimpong probably as well, even though he's not German. But like, you know, they used to kind of hoover up those kind of players from other clubs and like, all right, you had your little run, now you play for us, and we're going to win 10 in a row. Wultemade as well, like that's kind of the natural progression. Best German striker. He's going to play second fiddle to Harry Kane for the next year. Then he's going to come in. He'll sit in the bench because it's Bayern. And they're like, actually, we're going to go somewhere else, get more money, and, you know, get fucked. So like, well, good thing you're shy anyways, because I don't, you know, we would never want you. You know, it's like, you're in for him. So like, what you mean? How bad can he be if you're going to buy him in the first place? It's. I think that's sour grapes. That's, to me, that reads as like.
Well, I mean, the fact that they're talking about him at all on the 29th of September on TV is very funny.
The best thing about it is, I don't even care. He's been good since he came in too.
Yeah, I've actually really liked watching him. It's funny because of all the big strikers who came in, and there was a few of them this summer. I think he's probably been the one that's hit the ground running the easiest and the quickest.
Yeah, honestly, and especially the scenario he came into, like after Isak, which was like, you know, you might feel kind of they really wanted to keep Isak, but instead they've got me, and he's just been like, look, I'm here, I'm going to score goals. That's what I do.
Just get it on my head. I'm a big guy. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned a couple of Liverpool players there. Isak finally gets to the start. Tough place to go, Crystal Palace these days. And it proved to be a tough place for Isak too. I mean, he didn't get on the score sheet, I don't think. No, he didn't. Again, I was too hungover to watch this game.
And what a game to have missed. I mean, you were saying we were watching the highlights. It's just like, holy God, there's so many chances.
A lot of chances in the first half, a lot of balls out of the post. Both goals making some unbelievable saves.
There's a period, it's in the highlights, when you watch the game, you know what I mean, where Mateta takes this big curling shot out of the box and hits the inside of the post. But Crystal Palace are just so all over Liverpool that even though it doesn't go in, instead of hands on heads, oh, I can't believe I've missed that. Mateta instantly is like geeing up the crowd. He's like, come on, let's get more shots. They're playing Liverpool.
Well, they have obviously a relationship with Liverpool. It's a bogey team, mainly. Ever since, I guess, the Suarez Gerrard years, which is more than 10 years ago now, well, if you can believe that.
I would say it's probably a large bit more than 10 years now.
13, 14?
So 12 years, is that right?
12 years. Dwight Gale scored, like, I mean, they had some, like, real Barclays men playing for them back then. They've evolved a lot as a team, but every time they play Liverpool, there's always that kind of, oh yeah, remember that? remember all the various times we've beaten you and we shouldn't. I don't know how this develops for a club. Like for Arsenal and Newcastle, there's obviously maybe a rivalry / hatred there. I'm not sure. There's not the hatred between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. I don't even know if it's respect. I think it's just pure boginess. It's like, oh, we might lose this for no reason.
Oh, yeah. The past generations passed it on to me that I don't like playing here, even though I've never been involved at the club 12 years ago.
But in this game, you have the added Gahey storyline.
And just the added storyline of Now Crystal Palace are actually really good. They're probably the best they've ever been.
Yeah, well, they won the FA Cup, and it is hard to kind of, they beat City in the final, which fair enough. I think again, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But it is always hard to kind of determine what that means in terms of the strength of the team. But in this case, it shows that they were a really good team. They lost Eze in the summer, kept on to Gay, kept on to Adam Wharton. Both were linked heavily with moves away. But yeah, even Munoz and Henderson, he loves these big games. I think he's a big game player, really. Maybe he's perfect for the World Cup. I don't know. But regardless, really solid, strong team. And I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, Will, but I will, just a little bit. I said these late winners for Liverpool, you can't keep it going forever. Am I saying they were found out? No, I'm not saying they're found out. That's a very strong way to say it. I don't know I'd say that, but
they're being
certainly, certainly they didn't seem to have a lot of ideas in the highlights that I watched. You tell me, well, how did Salah and Isak play together?
Yeah, again, like we said in the summer, just a weird setup with Liverpool where they bought all these lads in, and then it was more like, when you look at it in the big picture, it's like, well, why did you get all of them? Like, they're all going to be bumping into each other out there.
Well, this way they have them, and no one else does,
I guess that's the idea, yeah. But, like, honestly, I was thinking during this game, they could really go for Hugo Ekitike right now in these last half an hour.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he kind of fucked it, didn't he, with that celebration? I maybe this is why Slot was so angry, because I think we have a big game coming up, and we might need you to score us a goal like you've been doing. I don't know, but who starts next game now? Do you say no?
I don't know. Yeah,
Ekitike, you have to learn, or like you spend all this money on Isak. Do you give him one game against Crystal Palace, and then you go, right? Well, that's your one chance. You're done. Do you play them both? Does Gakpo go to the bench? It's tricky, Verts again, 120 million. I guess they're going to want to see some kind of return on that investment. The guys upstairs, the money men. So, can he play with Salah? Can all four of those players play on the same pitch? I mean, I don't know how it's going to work, And I guess the first few games, there's been a lot of late winners. It was a wonder goal against Arsenal, but didn't cut through, didn't break them down that easily. So we'll see how they get on. But there's just a lot of good players who need to play at that club.
Yeah, and it feels like a strange season as well, because it doesn't feel like anyone is really at their best. That has been like normally in the last few years. There's been at least two teams that are flying at one, usually much more than the other, but the other one is still miles ahead of everyone. Whereas this season feels like any of the top 5 or 6 teams, or the traditional top 5 or 6 teams, could probably beat each other. But like at the moment, I think Sunderland are way up there. I think they have I saw they had a record of the most points in this amount of games for a promoted club.
They're 5th. Yeah.
Who else is? They're in 5th. Palace are still way up there. Like it's mad because a lot of the big teams are not looking too great after all spending a fortune in the summer.
Yeah, I said it several times in the previous episode. Top 4 is locked in. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. Chelsea are one thing. Man City are in like 7th. Haaland can't stop scoring goals, but I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and like even the goals they're scoring, I mean, I don't know if you saw one of the 5 goals that they scored against Burnley, but it was a big lump into the air. It bounced. 2 Burnley defenders bonked into each other like 2 Looney Tunes characters, and then Haaland just took the ball and scored. Like, it wasn't like this is Pep's genius plan.
No, there was 2 own goals in that game, and there was like 2 90-plus goals. In the, like,
I was the 2 own goals were Esteve, and he also bonked into the man for the 5th goal. He had a shot.
So two own goals and an own assist for Esteve there. But I mean, I guess they do have Haaland, which keeps them in it some ways. And if no one else is going strong, they do know how to see it in. So, or we'll see, I guess. But yeah, my top 4 was like rock solid, and now it's like I don't know. Maybe 3 of those teams mightn't actually be going that well. You do look at Crystal Palace and Sunderland and that, and you go, yeah, but
There's always Crystal Palace and Sunderland.
It's not going to be Crystal Palace in second. Like, I mean, like as good as they are, this isn't the year where they make the leap into second.
Remember Nottingham Forest last year? They slid all the way down to like 7.
Well, I don't know if you saw the Nottingham Forest Sunderland highlights. I didn't either, but all I saw was that Sunderland scored a free kick to win 1-0, and the way they got the free kick is very funny. I've never seen it before in my life. The Nottingham Forest defender was clearing the ball, and you know when you're clearing the ball and the striker kind of lifts a lazy leg to try and block it, and then it like slightly, grazes the toe of the defender, and they go down holding the toe, and they go, they fucking high studs, ref. The ref said, "You're diving. That's a dive, and now it's a free in," and they score from the free kick.
Wow.
I've never, like, they always give the benefit of the doubt to the defender, like, yeah, he was probably nicked there and his foot shouldn't have been there. Ref didn't go to VAR and went, no, that didn't happen. No
You're
chance.
lying to me.
You're a liar. And you've been yellow carded, and it's a free kick to the way, and they scored 1-0 and they didn't get back in the game. I've never seen that before. So like when things are going against you, they're going against you.
Oh yeah, and I meant to bring this up. I saw a tweet, a very, very highly liked tweet from a Sunderland fan that I just thought was crazy to see. There's a guy who said, "I'm 33 years old. I've been watching Sunderland my whole life. Granit Xhaka is the best player I've ever seen in a Sunderland jersey." And I was thinking, is he? He might be.
If he's 33, he probably didn't see Kevin Phillips.
Exactly. So he's seen all the bad years. So he probably is. He has at top 3, probably at least.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could have been watching games in theory since 1992. But I mean, as a baby, you don't remember most of those things.
He's not gonna know. Yeah, you don't hear me talking about Steve Bruce and.
No, like up until maybe you're 10, you're not really. I mean, some kids are, not all kids, but for the most part, once you get into like pre-teenage, you go, okay, who do I support, or whatever, or that's when your friends are talking about it in school. So probably from the age of like 10 or 11, early 2000s, they have been pretty bad. So yeah, Granit Xhaka is, I'm sure, up there with the best player. I mean, Pickford, of course, played for Sunderland. Don't rule him out. But
Henderson,
Stephen Fletcher, Fabio Borini.
All the stars are here.
It's true.
Beardy Man, Claude Racine, Dax Flame, Betty Fine,
You got it.
and Raffi Fine. All the stars.
Of course, we had the Roy Keane years. Dwight York, technically, it's like the Ronaldo debate, and our best Premier League players ever. It's like, no, when he was in the Premier League, he only won 1 Ballon d'Or. You can't cancel the Ballon d'Ors. That's not fair. Yeah, best ever players to play for Sunderland. Maybe Dwight York pips it when he was Dwight York, but not the Sunderland Dwight York. I'm not sure.
Yeah, when he was playing for Man United, he was so good at Sunderland at Man United.
But then again, I mean, Granit Xhaka is invincible with Bayer Leverkusen, so hard to compare that. If you're just comparing when they played for Sunderland, maybe Granit Xhaka is. I mean, he's got to be up there. The last, 20 years, he's probably one of the best players ever had. Congratulations to Granit Xhaka on your award. Oh, Asamoah Gyan.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable.
He was a baller. Him and young Danny Welbeck had a mean partnership up front.
Yeah, well, speaking of him, actually, a man who's still scoring goals in 2025, Danny Welbeck, with 2 goals against Chelsea, it gave Enzo Maresca the dreaded backing from the board after the game. They said, yeah, he's flying and we're not worried about it at all.
Oh no, did he actually get the back from the board?
He got the backing from the board, yeah. And I mean, at
Chelsea
it means a lot more. He's gone, yeah.
Oh, he's so gone. And they've just lost Nuno to West Ham. So they can't even go for that option. Graham Potter again, perhaps?
I would say Ruben Amorim, maybe.
Oh, Ruben Amorim to Chelsea, Graham Potter to Man United. I can see that.
Both get relegated.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it, really. It's taken shape a little bit, but also it's kind of falling apart for a lot of teams. But there's no clear winner yet.
Yeah. I've never been so baffled as to what's going on in the league. I couldn't tell you anything about who's anywhere in the league, except for that Wolves have 0 points still.
I did not know that. Who are they playing on the weekend?
I'm actually not sure. I just saw the table and I thought, wow, not a lot of people talking about that.
Who's the Wolves manager?
They drew. Sorry, they actually got their first point. I take it back. Tottenham drew with them with a last-minute Paulinho goal. He's still having fun out there.
Oh, I did see that. I saw the headline and it was like, Tottenham draw with last-minute Paulinho screamer. I was like, he is having fun out there.
Yeah, he's loving it.
He listened to the pod for sure. It's like, yeah, those boys are right. You know, life is good for Paulinho. It is good to be me. And he brought that same form to Wolves. They were another one who I was very high on. I was like, Spurs are going to have a hell of a season, and now they're maybe not doing so hot. So
you lost to Wolves, for God's sake.
Yeah, you know, I think the positive in this, Will, to try and end on a positive note, is that for a second there, people thought Liverpool are going to do it again, aren't they? They're going to absolutely bury everybody in the table. Right, let's go to transfer market, see who's 007. But now with Liverpool dropping points, there's no clear winner. It's like, all right, maybe there's still hope this season. I think we might see a kind of a cooling of this kind of stupid shit.
Especially with that being the 7th game. You can't, surely after 7 games, it's over. There's no more of that.
Yeah, I guess just the hate watching in general was kind of, on the rise, we'll say. But once everybody gets kind of brought back into the race a little more, it gives people a little bit more hope. And even for the likes of teams who want to get a bit higher, it's like Chelsea aren't going well, City aren't going well. There's spots available there, So yeah, it's going. The Premier League season is going. So is the Champions League season, Will. That is happening this week. It is back. Barcelona play PSG, I think, which is a cracking game. I think that's on a Wednesday. So we'll be covering that on patreon.com/a-no-nonsense-pod. I think actually I looked it up, Will, already and I've forgotten. I think it's no-nonsense-pod /no-nonsense-pod.
Is there bracket? No, there's no.
No, it's HTTP / semicolon, or is it colon? www.
I think it's semicolon, but I never.
HTTP 3 T's and a P semicolon / www.patreon.com /no-nonsense-pod / You'll find us there. Easy to find us there. Sign up, $4.50 a month, extra bonus episode every week. This week, Champions League, whatever else happens. Whoever gets sacked, Maresca, Amorim, probably neither.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a midweek sacking episode, I would say, imminently in the next, 3 weeks maybe? Next international break, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, although that seems to be a bad decision, the international break, as we've seen.
These clubs are so clever.
Well, before we were like, why didn't they do it during the international break? But then invariably they come back and everyone's come back from all over the world and they have an hour to train.
Yeah.
And they're playing Arsenal. It's like, oh no.
It's a whole new formation.
I heard that actually as well. The rise of the long throw is because just they have no time to work out complicated tactics. Because there's so many games. There's no time to actually test out these things. It's like, listen, long throw, get your head on it. Any questions? No.
I mean, I will say the long throws everyone's doing them.
Yeah.
Literally everyone is doing them. Every single game I watched this weekend, there was long throws in it. And they're all very successful because I don't think the goalkeeper's ever been so bad across the board in the Premier League, because they've spent years being like, well, you don't have to catch anything. It's all on the ground. Don't worry about it.
You got to be able to play with their feet, man. Forget about the saving. That's old stuff.
Why would you be worried about the throw-ins? That's nothing to do with you.
Yeah. That and the PSG kicking for touch. These are just simple things that any team can do. You don't have to work on them training, and it's a great kind of equalizer. Anybody can do them. Get the ball in the box, chaos, you might get a goal. And there's very little risk to you. It's not going to run the length of the pitch and score a goal. That'd be insane. So it's here to stay as long as the schedule is here to stay. And as you mentioned, there's games Tuesday, there's games Wednesday, there's games Thursday. So we'll be covering all that. We'll probably do an episode on Thursday and be out Friday. Help of God. So yeah, we'll see you there. And if not, no worries. We'll see you next Monday. Anything else, Will?
Did
you watch any good movies over the weekend or no?
I watched actually a great movie over the weekend. I can't remember what it's called. It's a Will Ferrell movie though.
Yeah.
where Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler set up an underground casino to fund their daughter's college fund. They do it with the guy Raffi from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it devolves into Will Ferrell goes crazy. It's one of those movies.
A Will Ferrell movie. Yeah, he becomes a pit boss. And he goes insane. Yeah, and I know that format.
It's really good. Yeah, he's doing scenes from Casino, but in like a nice suburban town. It's great. It's really good. The bad guy, actually, all the bad guys are the boys from that show, The League. You know, like Nick Kroll and all those guys.
Oh, yeah, that's a good show.
They're the like city or the town council board who are trying to find out what the hell's going on in this town. Why is no one coming to the meetings? Really good. Highly advised. I'm actually going to look up what it's called.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that, Will. This is actually a big night for the pod because you and I are playing each other in fantasy football. I'm sure you're aware.
We are head to head, and we're both top of the table.
We are. So you might usurp me as the leader of on top of the table. I think I need to get 6 points better than you, and it's mano a mano. It's Paqueta versus Njai.
Oh, the unstoppable object meets the immovable force, or whatever.
I'll look up the score in that game.
That movie's called The House, by the way, and it's very funny. It's shite, like, don't get me wrong.
I get it. The House always wins. I get the reference. Breaking news to the past: Everton 1, West Ham 0. Goal scorer Keane.
Who got the assist?
Garner.
Okay, we're safe.
Yellow cards for Walker Peters and Tarkovsky for now. And Njai's in
all to play for.
He's going to get 1 bonus point so far. So that would be 3 points. I need 6 points better than what Paqueta gets, who I imagine will get 2. So we'll just say at minimum he gets 2. I need to get 8 points.
Yeah. Yeah, you need some DEFCON. You need some defensive contributions.
Yes, which Paqueta has 7 of. So he's already it's an uphill battle, you know. So Everton 1-0, no points for Njai. You know, I think people love hearing about your fantasy football team. I think it's probably the best thing to hear. I did hear two guys from the accounts department today talking about 12 million. Like it's no joke. I was like, holy fuck, what are they talking about? You know, what have we done?
We're in trouble, yeah.
And I think they're talking about Salah. But like in deep conversation about this, like it's a fucking joke, man. I can't have that. I don't have that kind of money. So yeah, it's all happening. We have a lot going on in this podcast, in our lives, on and off the pod.
It's a busy time for the pod. Yeah.
I think I've signed off already, so maybe you've already tuned out. But if not, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Best luck.
Good luck.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the time.
No problem.